Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near-death experience of Edwin. Open quote. It was the 23rd of December, 1969. I was about 12 years old. I remember hearing my mother tell my father that he has to get me to have a haircut, despite at the time that it was in fashion to leave hair long. My mother was very suspicious about this new fashion, as she did not like long hair on boys. My father told her okay, he was going to get me a haircut, so she will stop moaning about it. She knew that I didn't want to have a haircut, so she used my dad to enforce having a haircut since he was a very strict father. The day after the 23rd of December, my dad took me to have a haircut. We went to the city, to a barber. My dad was busy talking with some friends of his. I was the first one who was on the chair to have a haircut. When I saw my dad busy talking with his friends, I told the barber not to cut my hair very short, only put some stuff on it so it'll look different. A few minutes later, I was ready, and we went back home. When we reached home, my sister started teasing me again because I had to have a haircut, but I told her that it wasn't cut, it only had some gel put in it. She ran to my mom to tell her that I still had my long hair. When she came and took a closer look at my hair, Mom started up on my dad again. Dad had to do something to save his skin from Mom, so he told me to go to my room as a punishment and that I'd have to stay there until the next day until he would get me to the barber again. I remember I wanted to get my hands on my sister. She came in my room to start teasing me again. In my room, there was a Christmas tree, and I was standing in front of it looking at the lights going on and off. As soon as I saw my sister in the room, I unscrewed one of the lights and threw it in her direction. I was so depressed that night, I felt like I wanted to cry. I remember the next thing I did was to put my finger in the holder from where I had unscrewed the lamp. I remember the feeling of an electric shock. I was thrown away with the same power. Then I heard my sister shouting. I was near her, trying to talk to her and tell her that everything was okay. She was not hearing me, so I tried to put my hand on her shoulder, but she couldn't feel my hand on her. Then I looked down and saw my body on the floor. I couldn't understand what was going on. Then I was pulled by a vacuum into a dark tunnel and was traveling faster than anything I knew. There was like pictures of my life coming one after the other. Then I saw a bright light, brighter than the sun, but it was not hurting my eyes. I passed through this light and found myself in a place that was like a room without walls. The walls were made out of atmosphere. There was a stand with a thick book on it and a very old man reading this book. He looked at me and he didn't say anything, but I didn't care who he was. I was staring at the scene behind him. There was a small bridge and many people passing over this bridge. As soon as they passed this bridge, they didn't walk anymore. They just floated away. There was crystal water running beyond this bridge, and all the people were wearing white. Then I looked again for that old person that I saw the first time, but he was not there. Instead, there was a man who was shiny and glowing. He reached his hand out and told me to come and see what's in here. At first, I was trying to see in which language he was talking, but although it was new for me, I could understand everything he said. I remember we passed through a lot of people who were singing in some different way I cannot describe. Everybody was happy, and nobody was thinking about others. They were all looking at a great light in one direction. As soon as we reached the bright light, this man told me that what I was about to see I would not remember. We passed through this light. I still cannot remember what was behind that light. What I remember for sure is that after we got out of that light, the man took me into the first place and told me that I had to go back because my time was not yet come to stay there. I remember I was crying and begging him to let me stay there. I didn't want to come back to Earth. He put me on his lap, hugged me, and told me, "Don't worry, you and I will meet again." I remember I told him I wanted to stay there. I don't want to go back. Then he told me, "Don't worry. Let me come with you." Then all of a sudden, I found myself back in my room with that man. I could see Mom was holding my dead body in her arms, and all my family was around her. They were crying, and I heard my mom crying and saying, "He's dead! He's dead!" Then that man told me, "Now you go back in your body." I refused to go back. I told him I wanted to stay with him. He hugged me again, kissed me, and told me the same words. "Don't worry, you and I will meet again." There was nothing I could do. I found myself back in my body again. The funny thing was that I was so happy with what I saw that a smile was on my face when I got back in my body, and the minute I opened my eyes, I heard my sister, "Look, Dad, he's playing a joke on us. He is smiling." I ended up with another punishment, so I will not play this kind of joke on them again. I kept this story for about 30 years. I never told it to anybody. Wow, what a great story. And the traditional NDE kind of experience is all in a nutshell. You see a lot of them before. Pulled by a vacuum, pictures of his life, bright light, brighter than the sun, but it didn't hurt my eyes. I've heard that phrase several times. And coming into the room with atmosphere walls. That was pretty cool. And you see the person with the pedestal with the old book. Maybe it's the, what is it, the Book of Truths? What a great story. There are some questions here. Question, at the time of the experience, was there an associated life-threatening event? Yes, accidental electrical shock. Stuck his finger in the light socket of a Christmas tree light strand. Question, what was your religion prior to your experience? Answer, moderate. What is your religion now? Answer, conservative, fundamentalist. Question, did you have a change in your values and beliefs because of your experience? Answer, yes, only this last 18 months. Question, did you seem to enter some other unearthly world? Answer, there are no words to describe. Question, did scenes from your past come back to you? Answer, I learned a lot, but use it all wrong. Question, did you come to a border or point of no return? I came to a barrier that I was not permitted to cross and was sent back against my will. It was against my wish. Question, do you have any psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts after your experience that you did not have before the experience? Answer, yes, I use everything wrong. I could read auras, read minds, OBE, and contact spirits. Answer, are there one or several parts of your experience that are especially meaningful or significant to you? Answer, the best was the part I don't remember, and the worst was when I had to come back. Question, have you ever shared this experience with others? Answer, yes. They want to have the rights to write it as a book. Question, is there anything else that you would like to add about your experience? Answer, there is, but I have to keep it for myself. End quote. End questions. Another great story. Have a nice day.